Good evening, fans of Wanderings and Wool Gathering. I'm your host, Foggy. And tonight, episode 179, we are going to be reviewing the latest record, Birthday, from Blues Pills. And we're continuing our new challenge called Rebanding. And we are rebanding Ride the Lightning from Metallica, 40 years old. Can you believe it? That means Metalhead Mundy is old. You heard it here first. And speaking of Mr. Metalhead Mundy, he'll be joining me shortly. And here he is.
Step inside into his mind. It's boy band time. It's
Metalhead Mundy.
I am old, but not as old as you. So
this is true. You are not.
I'm trying to catch up, but you keep going. So
I know. It sucks. I've been trying to slow down. This is so weird.
what's that?
So I just got a comment on YouTube. It popped up as a notification on my phone, but not on our show. That's just great. It was a hi, Foggy, and I'll say hi back to that person watching on YouTube. All right. So you doing all right? Into the weekend?
Yeah.
Back to work?
No, never that.
I know.
Weekends are always too short. So
We need to flip flop them. Have 5-day weekends, 2-day work weeks.
right, I'm down with that for sure.
I could definitely do that. But so I did a quick show earlier this week on the Slipknot concert. I
listened to that.
Very exciting show. Very different.
I was jealous because you got to see Orbit Culture, who is it's kind of a new discovery for me, but they're amazing. Knocked Loose, I don't love them. And honestly, the Slipknot, like when they said like everything was from 1999, and like I would rather see like a regular show. But
and I think there were people that felt the same way. But I'm telling you, to hear the album through and some of those songs I never heard was pretty incredible. And
I mean, it's cool. It's cool that they're doing that, and I'm sure that there are fans that will love that. But that's for me, like most of the stuff I love from them came later than that. So
no, I totally get it. And I think a lot of people probably felt the same way.
Yeah.
Had that been my only show I got to see them, I probably would feel the same.
Right.
But it's not, so I didn't. And Scissors at the end was so good. I absolutely love that. That was like the highlight of the show for sure. So
very cool.
Hello. Got a hi, Foggy and Metalhead. Hello
there. Can we officially call her like our biggest fan, or like our most interactive fan at least?
We're gonna wait 1 week. After next week, we'll see if she's still our fan when we do.
We'll see if we still love
her. She might hunt us down. So
or we'll see if she still loves us.
So next week is Bob Dylan Blood on the Tracks. We are going to do a review of that because it was requested, and we would never turn down a request because that's like a challenge to us.
Yeah, we'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited. It's going to take a lot of work. I hope I have time this week to put that work in. We'll see. Because Thursday night, you know what happens Thursday night?
I don't remember what happened.
The Xenomorphs return.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, super excited for that.
Okay.
So we'll be out one night this week. All right. So this week, rebanding was yours. So tell us all about it.
So I'm a big Metallica fan. Always have been. Ride the Lightnings, their second album, came out in 1984. Just celebrated a 40th anniversary. So I was like, why not? We'll try that. So here we go.
Indeed. Mundy better be practicing his acting unless you want one less subscriber. He will work on it this week. You know, he's probably going to fall in love with it.
I'm going to, I will be doing my best pandering.
It's Panderhead Mundy.
No, I mean, that's kind of earlier, Dylan, right? So
it's 73. It says, tell us what year it was. Early 70s.
So we should be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, you've got some choices that were sent in to you. If you want to share those, and then I'll share tea bags, and we'll be up to speed.
Okay, so one of my buddies hit me up on Messenger. He wanted to remain anonymous, so we'll honor that. First, he kind of picked a song that someone should cover, which is, or actually, he sent me one that they did cover, I think. But yeah, so the band King, Kyng, great band. Highly recommend checking them out. But apparently, they do an acoustic version of the song Escape. And he really loved that. But I kind of told him that's not really what we're looking for. We look for somebody to redo the entire album. And so then he said Faith No More would be kind of cool. So I think
yes,
that would be interesting. And, there's a huge connection there because Jim Martin, the former guitar player of Faith No More, he went to high school and was in a band with Cliff Burton. So that's cool. That'd be great.
Tracks. Yeah, that would be a really cool choice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad I didn't think of that one.
Yeah. And then I put it out on Facebook and I got a couple responses. My cousin, Matt Mundy, he's a big music fan, and he is a huge fan of the band Tame Impala, and he thought they might be able to do something interesting with that, or even Jimi Hendrix. So he's kind of looking for maybe something a little more on the psychedelic end. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah. And our good buddy Kevin Raider Rodenbaugh from Jack the Radio said either Mastodon or Avenged Sevenfold.
So I like the Mastodon choice.
I think Mastodon would be amazing, and they have actually recorded a version of Orion off of Master of Puppets, which is amazing. I'm not a big fan of Avenged Sevenfold, but I mean, I get that choice. I get it, but plus they've kind of ripped off Metallica a couple times, so
that's an homage.
There's that. Oh yeah, it sure is.
Lifting homage, it's the same thing anymore. Yeah. Ask Dua Lipa.
Oh wow, yeah. There's a lot of that going on there.
Her entire album, I think, was lifted. So obviously you can tell that Teabags is not here tonight, but he was not feeling well. But he did go ahead and tell us who he chose, and so this is his answer, his words. I really wanted it to be Monster Magnet because I love them and could see them pulling it off. However, I landed on Machine Head. I think they have a more of a similar tone to this era of Metallica. And he said Monster Magnet would have done Fade to Black justice, in my opinion.
Monster Magnet is an interesting choice. It's like, I don't know. People kind of call them, they've been called like space rock or space metal, or, that would be interesting. I agree with the Fade to Black. I don't know about the other stuff. I mean, it would definitely be different. I'm sure they could pull off their own versions of that. Would be completely different. And I forgot his other choice already.
Machine Head.
Yeah. So, Machine Head would be more faithful. I think it would be heavier because they didn't come out till like the mid 90s. And I think, it would be a lot heavier. They also have actually recorded a Metallica cover. They did Blackened, I think, which is off of And Justice for All. But so yeah, that'd be cool. And Rob Flynn, I like his voice, so that'd be kind of fun.
I was thinking Machine Head was before that. They came 91.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking late 80s for them, but very good.
So Rob Flynn has been around since the 80s. He was in a band he started a band in the Bay Area called Violence.
I've never heard of them.
So he's been around for longer than that. But yeah, Machine Head, their first album was 91.
Very good. All right. Well, those are nice choices. So I don't know. Like when I started thinking about this record, my first thoughts were industrial. I'm going to go industrial, because that'd be kind of an interesting take on, thrash and all that. But as I started thinking about it, I was thinking, like Ministry or Skinny Puppy or somebody just kind of kooky out of the. But then
Yep.
I feel like this album is kind of epic on a different scale. There's elements that don't really necessarily lend itself to that. I mean, you've got the nice classical guitar intros. You've got a fully instrumental. I feel like this is almost like thrash prog or something, you know what I mean? Because it just feels to me like it's a bigger album than just a straightforward record. It really feels epic. So I decided that a cool choice would be Dream Theater.
Okay.
I feel like they could handle the instrumental. Obviously, the drums have been upped a little bit with Portnoy, but no slight there because he does a fine job on this record. But I just feel like it requires a little more, in my estimation, if you're going to take something and really kind of make it cool. So that's why I went to Theater.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I mean, there's so many great musicians in that band. John Petrucci on guitar, of course, Portnoy. I think it's John Mayung on bass.
It is. Yep.
And the keyboardist, I'm forgetting his name.
I can't, yeah.
But yeah, and their singer, I think he could definitely hit the this is when James's voice was a little higher.
Yep.
So he could definitely handle all of that. Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. It'd probably be a little cleaner, I would say.
Oh, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing because I mean it's somebody else obviously making that album, so there are going to be minor adjustments somewhere. I just feel like it requires something more. It just seems like an elevated record to me.
I think that would be pretty cool.
All right, so that leaves one man left. It's the man himself.
Okay, so my easy immediate choice was like, why not Megadeth?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but
Mustaine, like, he's got a writing credit on at least one of these songs.
Yep.
But then I was like, it's a little too easy. So then I thought of somebody else, and I didn't really like that either. So it's my honorable mention is Motorhead. Obviously, there's a huge connection there. I don't think there would be a Metallica without Motorhead. Both bands have kind of unique bass players in very different ways. And Lemmy's vocals, I mean, he's covered Metallica before, so I think it would be kind of fun. But then I hit on something and I was like, I want to hear that. So my final answer would be John Bush era Anthrax.
Okay, why that era?
Because they were at that time. When Bush came into Anthrax, he kind of modernized their sound. I mean, he didn't, but they, as a band, kind of modernized their sound a little bit. And he is very different from Belladonna. Gave him a very different feel. And James Hetfield did not want to be the singer of Metallica. He hated his voice. Even now, he can't stand listening to like their first 3 albums. He hates his voice. His choice, they actually asked John Bush to be the singer of Metallica.
Real? I've never heard that.
Yes, they did.
Can you imagine Metallica without Het?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
But yeah, but Bush didn't want to do it. He wanted, he had Armored Saint going on, so he wanted to stay with them, and the rest is what it is. So I think it would be very cool to hear him do an entire Metallica album. Plus, everybody talks about Hetfield's right hand, his rhythm hand, like that Hetfield rhythm. And I think Scott Ian is right up there with him and would be able to do that justice. And yeah, I think Frankie Bello on the bass could pull all that off. You know, I think that would be amazing.
Well, you can't go wrong with either of those choices. So
yeah,
for sure. All right. So that was good. It was really hard, though. I'm telling you, I struggle with this one. Well, not to go with the obvious, because picking a thrash would be pretty easy, I think. But so I really wanted to dig in and figure out what the heck I wanted to do with it, and it was really frustrating. So.
That's why I said like Megadeth's kind of the easy, obvious answer, and you know, it's kind of a little bit trolly, and you know, whatever. But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And yeah, so I went through a couple before I landed where I did.
So next week we'll be rebanding Blood on the Tracks. We really should, because that would make Sistine do it.
I actually have a couple of ideas off the top of my head without even hearing the record. So
that's it. My week, rebanding Blood on the Tracks.
All right.
Book it.
Okay. Done and done.
All right. Okay, I got it down. It's written, so it's good. All right. Well, this week we have a new record. It's Blues Pills, their first record in 4 years. I had never heard the band before, so this was all new to me.
Yeah.
And I got a late start. Had a really busy, hectic week. Lots of stuff going on. So I finally had a chance to dig in. So I feel prepared.
Okay. So I just kind of stumbled on this band again. I think it was a YouTube recommend, and I was like, just check it out. And I was immediately blown away with the vocals. They have a kick-ass female singer, and just the whole feel and vibe of the band. Like they have kind of a retro vibe to them, but it's not really stuck in one era, because they're like, if you listen to them, like even stuff before this album, lots of 70s, some 60s, even some like 50s stuff kind of creeps in. I think they use vintage equipment, like there's some organ and some Moog synths on this one. Just a really, really cool sound and amazing vocalist. So and I saw they had a new one coming out, it came out, I don't know, like a week or two ago. And I was like, ooh, we didn't really have anything. So I was like, I want to talk about that.
So, I feel like their sound, it you know how sometimes you can tell, like we're piecing it together. You know, and we send in this piece, and we put it into a GarageBand or whatever the hell, and we do. I feel like their sound sounds like they're in a room playing when they record. I feel like there's something more like organic about the way that it's recorded. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but it's just the way it feels.
I would. If you have not, on that tip, I would recommend watching some live stuff. They actually just dropped a video. I can't remember what song it is. I want to say it's Bad Choices. They just dropped a video that's like a live in studio version of it. And so good. So good.
Yeah. And I get the point too, where you're talking about the different times, because even the singer can kind of bring up that Janis Joplin kind of old feel, and then she can sound new. It can sound bluesy. It can sound total pop. I mean, yeah, it's all over the map. So
I had said before that I thought they were from Sweden instead, kind of, but not really. So they formed in 2011 in the Midwest, is all it says, their little history. This is from their website. It was the main songwriters, which are the guitarist Zach Anderson and the singer Ellen Larson. And they now have the other two guys. Where are their names? So I think the other two guys are from that region, somewhere in that Scandinavia region. Their names are Christopher Saunders and Andre Kvarnstorm. But they're they're just amazing. I really like them. One thing I thought was interesting is some of their earlier videos are released by Nuclear Blast Records, which is, I only know that as a metal label.
Yeah.
Like that is a historic metal label. And I was like, wow, they're on Nuclear Assault. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I don't believe they still are. But man, they've played all the huge festivals in Europe, and I mean they're doing very well.
Yeah, I was trying to see. Okay, it's going to take work to get there. All right. Anyway, we're here to talk about the music.
Yes.
So let's just do the usual. Let's look at the opening track. Do we have a good album opener? I think we do. I think it's you always think about the openers usually like an upbeat song. It's usually more radio friendly. It's a song you might hear opening at a concert or something, very listenable. Yep. This one is definitely high tempo. Got a very straightforward metronome like drum beat just in your face. And then, but it's a mean song. It is not a nice song by any means. But I thought it was a great album opener. That really kind of set the tone for the record.
Yeah, you got that like that driving snare that's just on it, and it's so good. And I think it's a good measure of Ellen's vocals, because it kind of, she doesn't start out like hitting it too hard, and then the chorus comes in, just like bam, she's pissed. And it's, I mean, this song is all about like a woman fed up. So, and she's like, I don't care anymore. I'm ruining birthdays, and go to hell. So, like, yes, I am here for that.
Yeah, very good song, very good. I really liked the opening to Bad Choices, which was a few songs later. It had there was like some clapping, setting that. And then the bass. This was the first time on the bass or on the album I really noticed that bass can really groove underneath it, and it happens on a number of songs. But I would say overall on this record, the bass might have been the highlight for me. It is killer.
Yeah, so good, man. And it's funny too if you watch their videos, he's just like, he looks like this big tall dude, real kind of clean cut ish, and he just like real stoic, and he's just nailing those bass parts. It's so good. Yeah, so good. Several songs I wrote bass in all caps with exclamation. And but Bad Choices is so good. There's the drums are kind of subdued, and then they kind of get big on the chorus, so it's kind of cool to hear that. And her vocals, I think, are real dynamic in that song. Again, she's kind of up and down and comes in real strong in parts. And it's, that Bad Choices is definitely one of the highlights for me. I think the song before it, I'm surprised. I think the bass is real strong on Don't You Love It too. And I love that song. I think it is super dancey. Like, that song just makes me want to dance. Like, it's so good. And the chorus, like when the chorus kicks in, it's like, oh man, it's just a head nodder, little rump shaker. And it's just kind of it's a song about letting loose and having fun and not taking things too seriously. And it's just really kind of creates that vibe.
I agree, the bass, but that one didn't hit me quite as much as the other ones did. But the next song really got me. We're doing a write-in campaign to see Mundy dance.
Sorry, you need let's go with 100,000 signatures. Good luck.
1.0000 signatures. So the first time I listened through, like I think I told you, I just kind of was listening. This is the one that grabbed me. It was Top of the Sky.
Top of the Sky.
And God, her voice just so good. And that's where I first went, oh, wow, and just beautiful ballad. And it kind of stands out on the record too, because there's so many heavier bluesy songs, and then you get this beautiful ballad. So I think that was another highlight for me.
Yes, they did a great job of pacing on this record. Because those first 3 songs are just, up and energetic, and then they kind of cool you down top of the sky. But you don't lose interest because it is so powerful. The control on her voice, I think, is incredible. And the different sounds she's able to get, like she can go high, she can get the growl, you said like the Janis Joplin that it's got raspy bluesy things, she's got it all, and it is very highlighted on Top of the Sky.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next song, it's kind of interesting because that's your slower ballad, and then the next one comes in a little bit softer. There's like a little acoustic guitar, and then that bass just comes in again, and it's like we're back,
Yeah.
And it was just I think a really good transition from Top of the Sky to Like a Drug.
Yeah, it's just super groovy, and it's called Like a Drug, and it's all about, basically like the, being in a bad relationship, and it's like a drug, and you can't kick it, and you keep getting pulled back in, and that kind of thing. Cool song.
Yeah. Yep.
We're trying not to go track by track, but the very next song is Piggyback Ride, which is one of their singles. Great video for it, and holy crap, it is just so good. Definitely one of my highlights. That drum intro is awesome, and you should definitely watch the video to see how he plays that, because it's so cool and casual the way he does it, and it's so good. So you got the cool drums, and you have like kind of a staccato guitar, like pretty minimalist guitar riff. The vocal melody is incredible. There's a really cool synth break. This is where I mentioned like a Moog synth. This is, I think it's a Moog synth. So, but it's definitely, you see them play it and it looks like an old piece of equipment. And yeah, this one, total highlight for me. Great video.
I agree 100%. I would add that there is that bass undertone again, which is so nice. And I think I heard some cowbell in there later in the song. So I'll have to check the video and see if he's got a cowbell up there. He's tapping on it. It's not as pronounced as Will Ferrell's cowbell, but I think it was there. And yes, this was another highlight for me too. This song was absolutely excellent. Somebody Better was the next one that I really highlighted. And this, I did really liked how this one like kind of just slowly build up, and it's real bluesy. And then it just gets big. It just explodes into the chorus. No wasted motion, and it just hits. It was an excellent song. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's a great breakup song, because that's what she's talking about. You'll leave for somebody better than me, or something like that. And a lot of pain and anger in that chorus, and it really just comes through. And the final chorus in this song is super powerful. It's just a little, her vocals are just a little different on that one, and I think it really gives a little punch to the end of the song.
And then Shadows. Wow. That's a bluesy number. That was a total highlight on the record.
It is like straight up just like dirty, gritty blues, just down and dirty. It's so good.
That's where I feel like they do really a nice job of placing the songs on the record, because Somebody Better has that element, but there's also a little bit more of the poppy chorus to it. But then it just sort of leads right into Shadows, which is absolutely hard-hitting bluesy.
Yeah. And this one also, we get a little bit of organ on this one. I don't know what kind, but you get that old school, like Hammondy kind of organ. Good stuff. And man, when she hits the "It's My Time," and so good, man. And the backing vocals, I think, on this one are kind of cool. And I don't know if it's just her in the studio, or if it's maybe one or two of the guys as well. And it's really not, it's mostly just like kind of oohs and ohs and stuff, but it just adds so much texture, and it's just kind of punctuates, you know, what she's going through when she's singing. Masterfully done, in my opinion.
Oh no, I love it. That was definitely one of my top 3 highlights. The next song on here is a mouthful.
Yeah,
I
well,
want to get back on that horse again.
Yeah, the last 2 songs have like the longest titles ever.
What
But
has
yeah,
this life done to you? Yeah.
I don't want to get back on the horse again. And it's just a song about depression. It really is. It's just like somebody, like something has happened to this person. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to start their life again. They just want to mope and be depressed. And, you know, I think everybody's been there at some point.
And I think too, like it's like very personal as far as that goes, and it's very vocal forward, which I think really lends itself to the meaning and the feeling of the song.
A lot of nice piano as well.
It was really well done. But when I heard that, do I have to get out of bed today? Damn, that was me this morning. Did not want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So, and then the last song, good album closer.
I think it's a great album closer. The song's called "What Has This Life Done to You," and it's basically about friendship. And she's kind of singing about a friend that, you know, used to have her back. They used to be best friends. They used to do stuff together all the time. And now this person's just kind of angry and bitter and like, what has this life done to you? And why are you like this? You know, where'd my friend go? That kind of thing. And this is one that definitely has kind of a 50s, 60s ballad feel. There's a lot of that kind of feel. And yeah, it's just I like at the very end of the song, they kind of put this effect on I think they just do the chorus again to outro the song, but they put this kind of effect on it that makes it sound kind of muffled and distant, and that is the end of the record. And I think it's a great closer. I think it's more down tempo. So it's one of those that kind of eases you out, and then they put that effect on the end. And you're like, oh, we're done. We're out.
Yep. So. Yeah. It's the old cool down method. So yeah, I liked it too for the exact same reasons. Not my favorite song on the record, but definitely does a nice job of putting a bow on the record, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So the question is, what would we score this record? And we will listen again. You chose it, so I'll go first. I would say probably a 3.5 for me at this point. I'm just now really getting into it because I had the week, obviously, to work with it, and I didn't get a chance to most of the week. So I just really started digging in this weekend. I'd like to dig in a little bit more. I definitely liked what I heard and so last week we did the Pumpkins' new record, and we said it was tight. Like, we like that, you know. I feel like this record is absolutely tight. No noodling. We're not meandering out there. The songs are very straightforward. They get in, they do what they have to do, and they get out. They're all short. They're all, or for the most part, I think they're all less than 4 minutes. And I kind of like that. I thought that was, you don't always have to be a prog band and have 10-minute songs for me to like you know? And I just felt like it was a really good, tight record. So very, very impressed with my first time listening to Blues Pills.
Yeah. With that tightness, I think there's also a lot to dig into. I mean, great musicians, amazing vocalists. There's a lot here for being as short as it is. And I would tell anyone, if you like this album, go back and listen to their earlier stuff. These guys are so good. Like, I am all in on this band. I love them. So this is probably one of my favorite bands that I have, you know, recently stumbled onto, and was like, oh, I wish I would have been with them from the beginning. But so good. And honestly, like, I've been listening to this almost nonstop. I will keep listening to this and their older stuff. You know, I am a Blues Pills fan now, so there is not much for me to pick apart in this album. So gonna go 4.5 out of 5. I love
Very
it.
good.
Absolutely
Excellent.
love it.
Good. Yeah, excellent record. And I really now want to go back and look at some of the live stuff.
Yeah.
I think
there's lots of clips on YouTube. Like I said, they've played like all the huge festivals, so there's clips from that. And like I said, the Bad Choices, they just dropped like a live in studio video for that. There's lots to see there, and she delivers live too. Like she's awesome. She's the real deal.
Yeah, she's got a big voice. I really like it. All right. Well, you're not going to have a lot of time this week to work on this record because you're going to be working on Bob Dylan, and it will require some thought and some time. So next week, we are doing Blood on the Tracks from 1975. We are going to get some notes from a historian from Bob Dylan, and I guess we're going to reband this record too, or re-artist it if we wanted to. I guess we could say. Since he's a one-man band,
Rebanding works better as the name.
Absolutely. Re-artisting? You don't think that's catchy? We're going to re-artist. No, rebanding. So it is going to be a Bob Dylan week. I'm definitely going to go to some message boards and message boards. So doesn't even exist anymore. Some Facebook pages, some groups on Twitter, and all those that love Bob Dylan, and try to get some feedback and see what happens.
Very cool.
Our historian said that those sites are very, very active. Okay. And I'm guessing they're very defensive. So we might want to be careful.
So I won't go on them. So
no, we probably shouldn't have you on them. His voice sucks.
Invite them to listen to that episode, but nothing prior, because
that's right. You can suck up for one episode, right? Oh, perfect. All right. Well, you can find this show on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. No, you can't find it on SoundCloud.
Stitcher's gone.
That is the one. So it's definitely not Castbox. Yeah. Okay. And Castbox. So please check us out. You can see the video version of this. You can see the audio. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to find us. We're on Facebook on 2 different sites, 3, counting Mundy when he puts it on his own page. So there's no excuse. You should be watching us. And if you guys write in and we get 10 people to write in, we will see Mr. Mundy dance to it is Don't You Love Me, or Don't You Love It, right? That's the song you're going to dance to?
10 Boom. Times 10,000.
That is incorrect. I've said it is now 10. So, all right. Anyway, everybody have a great week. Pray for us this week as we listen to Bob Dylan, that my daughter does not kill Mundy. Could get dangerous up in here. And we will see you next Sunday night to talk about Bob Dylan. Later, everybody.